play call. Great pass, great reception. That play had it all.
Mm-hmm. The ball. Mm-hmm. Mic check, mic check. You got the kid in the background for authenticity. Just finishing my sandwich. Just finishing my sandwich. Um, Let me ordering some groceries at the same time. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Do we see it? Do we see it? I feel like am I live? Okay, I'm live. Live in the den. Um, Watch this later. Let's share. Just copy link. Oh man, excuse me. Yeah, we'll just wait. I'll wait a little bit, no, like 2, 3 minutes. Um, what's going on though? Congratulations everyone who made the playoffs. Should be a it should be a good, good playoffs. I anticipate it. Um, Moroccan tea. Yeah. Bounds the spaghetti. Add to cart. Oh, I had two of these. Nope. Nope. Lactose free. Extra sharp. I'll add it. If I don't like it, it goes back. Uh, okay. I don't see anything yet. Let me try to. Yeah.
Check.
Okay. All right. We're straight. We're straight. We're straight. Oh, there's my boy, Bobby Severino.
What up, bro?
What's going on, man? Sound like you just woke up from a nap. Mm.
Streaming
Yes.
already?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just wait a little bit. I'll probably start. another like 2 or 3 minutes before I start digging into stats or whatever, and just the regular shish. But yeah, stream's up right now.
Sounds good.
Got any plans for this for your girl? Y'all doing something special?
Uh, I don't know. I tried a restaurant, but man, that shit was. I fucking tried to book one of her favorite restaurants on Wednesday. That shit was already booked for the whole day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to this West Indian restaurant in the city.
You
Um,
made the reservations?
yeah, made reservations through the app Resi. That app is actually really good.
Shit, so text me that app.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now. There's a few. Resi, Seated, and Open Table are all restaurant apps. Really good for like last minute shit. If you know, I know Valentine's is gonna be wild, but Matt, do
Ken
not
said
put your.
please step into the mic.
Callie said step into the mic. Callie
He said,
gets.
step into the mic.
Yeah, he said get a little closer.
All right.
Yeah, but Reggie's probably the best one out the three. I think there's way more restaurants are are in that app, whatever, participate with that app.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Callie, I'm trying to find the restaurant. When
Yeah.
we go Bears pair restaurants.
Shout out. Yeah, I had booked the restaurant for like 5:45, but my wife gets off at like 5. I don't think she'll make it, and so
Shit,
for like
that's what bothered me too. She gets out at 5:30, so it's like,
yeah,
damn.
and so there were a bunch of openings for like 8 o'clock, but I did it for 5:45, whatever. But then there was a bunch of openings at 8, and I was like, ah, whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna have a rush. Let me just go back and look at these other things. And
Yeah, you're
only
gonna
thing,
go home and then go back to
yeah,
the city.
yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
it. Good luck.
I know, but so when I went back to the app, all the like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock joints were all gone. No, don't paint the princess. Do not paint the princess. Um, so I had to book it for 10. I mean, which isn't bad. I feel by that time the traffic in the city will be way less going into the city.
Bro, this shit's been brutal lately. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I could imagine how long it takes you to get home from work.
Nah,
Unless you take the Bell
nah,
Parkway.
nah. I take the train. I take the train right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On what was it? On Thursday, I finished my last store like around 3. Bro, I didn't get back to Jamaica, Queens from Midtown. No, I was in Soho until 4:30, 4:45 actually.
Nah, that's
Hour
the
and a
worst.
half basically. Shit is
Mm-mm.
ridiculous.
Traffic is definitely wild.
Eating at 10 must be a East Coast thing.
Eating at 10. Well, you know what, Callie, be honest with you, the East the East Coast is different in a
Can't
sense
have
where
dinner
it's
past 8 here.
no dinner past 8. Forget about it, man. First of all, in the East Coast, the nightlife don't start till about midnight. Like that's number one. If
City
you
that never sleeps.
yeah, man. Like so, I went to Cali a couple of years ago. I'm not say a couple of years, probably like 5, 7 years ago. And so for us as New Yorkers, we leave the house like 11:30, expecting to get somewhere and have a good time. We pull up on a spot like 12:30. They're like, "Oh, we're about to close soon." Like, what do you mean about to close soon? It's a Saturday night. They was like, "No, we close at like 2." And alcohol, I guess because they stopped serving alcohol at 2 o'clock, so they just closed down. And I was like, "Yeah." But I will say the
That's,
one thing that the West Coast does have is that like, all these like late games that we watch, 8:30,
oh
9:30,
man, bro,
they go for 4 o'clock. They go for four
I've been telling
o'clock.
my friends, my girlfriend, yo, just because I'm a big sports fan, I wish I lived on the West Coast just because of that.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah,
Especially for the
man.
weekend, yo, it's 10 o'clock. Like, I'm a baseball fan, so
That's
imagine
another
watching baseball
thing.
at 10 o'clock throughout the rest of the day, bro. That shit is amazing.
Yeah, I felt the same
Like,
thing. I think I had went. I think I had went during in March because I remember watching March Madness. I woke up like 11. I watched like 4 games, and then it was like
Free
4:30, and it
time
was
games
like,
star at 10 or 1030 lol.
yeah. I went to yeah, watched 4 games, It was 4:30 when I was done watching games. Like, all right, what are we doing now? I can still go out. I still go outside. If you watch four games right now on the East Coast, it's the night, bro. Like you can just forget
Mm.
about going anywhere. So
They need to make that shit Monday after the Super
Start
Bowl national
asterisk.
holiday, especially for
they,
the East Coast, bro. You're going to sleep by 11 o'clock,
yeah,
because of the Super Bowl.
right. I mean, somebody mentioned that they just move it to next week and make it President Day. Was it President Day weekend or
President's Day, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and just move it, and then that'll be that. And you wouldn't have
I
to make
mean,
it a
if they
holiday.
add an extra game, who knows in the future it's gonna make
Oh,
sense.
or add two bye weeks. I think somebody was saying
Oh
give
yeah.
every
Hmm.
team two bye weeks. Um,
Makes
I
sense.
was 5 minutes away from calling in BTW, but the fan walked in lol.
oh, it's all good, Callie. Callie said he was gonna call in, but the fan walked in. All good.
Commission's
Um,
gonna take the hot seat.
Commissioner's gonna take the hot seat.
Man, tell them to go to the bathroom and just talk from the bathroom.
that's
Just take your remote with you with the headset. That's it.
that's funny. Um, all right, so let's hop into. I'm looking at some groceries at the same time. Hold on.
Instacart?
Nah, Whole Foods. Mimi.
Oh, okay.
Let's hop into this. All right, so I mean, like I said a couple minutes ago before you got on, congrats everyone who made the playoffs, yourself included, Callie. I'm not sure who else was watching. You know, I mean, it's Madden. It's Madden. So I'm looking at the AFC C's right now, Raiders. I mean, I go straight to the playoff picture. What am I doing? Look at the playoff picture. Playoff bracket. All right. So at the 1 seed, we got the Raiders. We got the Giants. We had a really good year. That trade for Mac probably really helped them.
Did a
Um,
few good trades. Mac Jones, Cortland Sutton, he did as well.
yeah. So who do we have? We got the Raiders at the 1. You at 2. Bills at 3. Browns 4. Colts 5. Surprised the Colts are 5. Um,
Because the
Charge. I
division
mean,
winner. Well,
I
because of
I
the
yeah, but I mean, I feel bad for the Bills. I don't think he's getting past the Chargers, but I mean, anything is possible.
yeah, for
But
sure. You never know with
but
Madden.
yeah, you don't Madden, but like, I mean,
We all in
because
here pro, just cook.
we all here, we just cook. Let me cook, right? Um, these guys are so funny. Um, Maverick in the back giving me background noise. Um, yeah, I know, but the Chargers. I mean, I mean, it could be said if it wasn't for Ford being in the same division as Brad, that Brad would be tops in that division. Um, and so I guess I
James
mean,
is 1 seed,
That's probably
anything
why
can
Keegan
happen.
left.
say that again.
So I said that's probably why that Chiefs guy left. Tough division.
Nah, it's a tough division. I mean, Ford's winning like 15 games a season, like on
Bro, Ford
average,
went undefeated.
undefeated, but like on average, he's winning about 15 to 16 games a season, bro. Like his win percentage is gotta be like 95, bro. This is unreal.
Yo, Cali, find something cheesy about Ford's game and boot him.
I've always said Ford is just a student in the game. I've always noticed that. Like Ford is a
Yeah,
football
Ford,
guy.
of
Yeah,
course.
he's a football guy, bro. Like there's no competing with that. When I've seen videos of like real football people tell like a Madden player what to do and what to look for, and bro, it's like automatic. Like they're just good. Like their brains are just wired really really well for football. Anyway, I digress. We got the Giants at 1. I think what 12 wins, 13 wins last time I checked for the Giants. Um, I'm not sure if I enjoy the 1 seed not having to play a game. Uh, I don't know how I feel about that in real life. I think I would like to play a game before I play a game, but I guess it just makes life easier for. Look at the Pens at 2, Cali at 7. San Francisco Seahawks should be a good game. Also Lions and Cards.
850. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Yeah, you good, you good.
850.
It's a multilingual show, my people. We crossing borders and breaking down barriers. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Who do I got? I'm just gonna make some predictions. I got the Jags getting past the Patriots. I got the Chargers past the Bills, and I've got the Colts moving past the the Browns. Well, I mean, maybe somebody can explain to me why hmm does the two seed play the one? I doubt that's the case. I don't. Maybe somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But the two seed shouldn't play the one seed if the two seed beats the seventh seed. That's interesting. We'll see. I don't recall. Um, Panthers, Panthers, Bucks. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Bucks. I think Brady might be the factor here. But of all these three games for the NFC, I think that the two most interesting, I think evenly matched, might be these Cards and the Seahawks Niner game. It's a toss up for me. So anyway, like I said, and those are our playoffs. We'll look at the standings. Probably not much to see because obviously we know what the playoffs look like already. But as he mentioned before, we're undefeated. Jags with one loss, and then Colts with four. Bills
One
six.
plays the lowest seed.
One, thank you for it. Appreciate it. Chargers 11 wins.
Lowest seeds play the highest seed.
Got it. Thank you, Brad. Um, Pats and Browns. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think we can look at Ford's. We can look at his record. Okay, 13-4 for the Giants. Panthers, Niners. Here's my thing though. The Giants have a good regular season record. Um, but I think this might be his first playoffs in this iteration of Madden. What are we in season three right now? Season three. Um, I apologize for the kid in the back. Yeah, he's expressing himself with his imagination, and I can't seem to stop it. So, forgive me. A bunch of 11 win teams. Well, I say a bunch is two, and then 10 win teams. But the drop off between class is just huge. Like, it's so interesting. Like, there's 10 wins, and then everybody else is like single digits. I wonder if the AFC had something like that. Ah, it's tough to say. I feel like the AFC is, in terms of win percentage, a better division, but I feel like the NFC has way more comp, if that makes any sense. Um, I think the Seahawks are new. Both the Seahawks and the Cards are two new teams to the play. I think, and the Giants. I think these other three teams have made it each year since we've started. Um, let's go on to everyone's favorite topic, stats. Um, you don't need to look at mine because mine are terrible. But I think this may be the first time that I've seen a quarterback in our league go for 5,000. And I think Ford has thrown more picks this year than he has in quite some time. Maybe having a really good quarterback, he's taking slightly more risks. But I mean, yeah, I mean 5,000 is a lot, and it's not even close. Um, Award winner. What did he win? Did he? No, let's see. Did he win an award? The Pro Bowl, just a Pro Bowl, and that's it. Okay. 92 overall. This guy's a second year pro, 1 year pro. Jesus, bro, I'm telling you. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oof. 92 overall. Unbelievable. Um, a down year for Herbert, so to speak, in terms of his I think his yards. I don't think he really missed. I think he traded Allen. He traded one of his receivers, Allen or Williams. Can't recall. Brady with a really good year. Josh, eh. I mean, yeah. I mean the touchdowns to interceptions. Look at this. Trevor Lawrence with a solid year as well. Way less yards
T
though.
Law, baby, T Law.
I know you didn't make that
It
4,000 or
ain't
you hit the
Chambers though.
no chains with 5,000 as well. Like I was just saying, like I don't think I've ever seen anybody in our league throw for 5,000 and the 10. Look at oh, wow, 5,000 yards on little under 400 attempts. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, just look at Herbert, who's got 4,400 with 430. I mean, I throw a ton. Look at me, 500 attempts with 4,000 yards, barely, if that. 39, 25. Nowhere near the efficiency um, of Ford's like deep game, um, yards per attempt. Yeah, yeah, Ford's. Yeah, I mean that'll do it, man. 12 yards per attempt. Every throw is pretty much a first down. I guess that'd be the gold standard if you can make that happen, you know, consistently. Uh, I mean, so I guess we'll talk about the picks and we'll segue into picks and sliders in a bit with these stats. And I know the ongoing discussion is about sliders and adjustments. And my personal opinion before was like, yeah, I really didn't mind the sliders, but like I said, full credit to Ford to like highlighting this in the chat a couple of months ago that initially adjusting the sliders is a really good idea, but what happens as EA tunes the game, whether through patch or adjustments, as a league or as anyone not directly working for EA, you cannot tell how much your sliders affect the game once they've essentially affected the game. Yes, I see it, Mav. It's your drumstick for the xylophone. And so that's where the issue lies for me personally. Um, and like I said to you guys, like I haven't played Madden. This is my first Madden in about 2 or 3 years, and so a lot has changed. I think I stopped playing Madden when they introduced superstars and X factors. I didn't like the direction of the game. Which leads me to another topic. I don't know how you guys feel, but I wonder if in the future the league would be better off by somehow curtailing the effectiveness of superstars. And I know the conversation is around X factors a lot, and I know guys say Evans with the jump ball, whatever, but the X factor isn't doesn't do anything unless you activate it. I think that's the biggest thing people to realize. Like, superstar activates X factor. Having an X factor is great, but what you really want is a superstar of any
Oh yeah,
kind.
because
Yeah,
they stay
there
on
it's the
throughout the
ability,
whole
right?
season.
Exactly, the ability to stay on, and I think that's where the conversation needs to start. And so this week, I think the Redskins was saying something about he went and
Commanders.
Commanders, yeah. Excuse me, I'm old. The Commanders went ahead and mentioned something about Ford's abilities on his players, and I think you think I mean Ford said he went and read the details. I did something much different, and I don't know if I know Callie may have noticed, but like while I was out of work, I'd stay up late every night, obviously, but I would literally mess with the superstar combos. I just messed with it, and obviously I found the combination at work long before I realized that um, the pass rushers had like probably their strongest abilities when you combine double or nothing and what was the other
Edge
one?
threat.
Edge threat. Right. Thank
Edge
you.
threat.
Right. So the big one,
But either way, bro, Ford won MVP with Crosby year one with no abilities.
yes. So I mean, yes. So that being said, granted, yes. Without, but the thing is that when you combine those two abilities, it makes it really difficult to slow that pass rush down. It's just like the double or nothing, I believe, is what's really taking it over the edge. And when I was in another league, and I'm sure we said this before, there were tiers to the abilities. And if anyone wants to see what the tiers are, I think mutt.gg, something like that, will tell you where they personally rank those tiers in abilities. And or you can watch any YouTube video that ranks abilities, and edge threat, edge threat, and double or nothing are up there. And so it kind of feels like, can we or should we limit the combos? And like let's say next season they change it and it's not an issue, then whatever. Um, but but those two abilities are really strong. And what happens, I think, people was like, well, somebody mentioned El Toro. I've tried El Toro with double or nothing. It's not the same. It's not the same. Especially I feel
El
like,
Toro's what, like the bull
yeah,
rush moves?
yeah, the bull rush move. So the problem with that is the bull rush move, I think, which is my just guesstimation, it's only effective if the only pass rush move he has is bull rush. If he has another option for like a swim or a spin, it's like a 1 in 3 shot of him using El Toro. I've tried it on Donald. I've moved it around. I've moved Donald around. Um, El Toro isn't bad, but it's nowhere has the same amount of effectiveness as Edge Threat plus double or nothing. And so yeah, good. Thank you. All right. So that being said, let me talk about these rushing yards. 311. Wow. That's a lot of running. Three. Wow. We've got two guys with almost 2,000 yards rushing. I did not need notice
You
that.
think Chubb is one of them?
Yeah, Chubb and Burley for the Pats.
Pats, yeah. Pats
320.
actually run the ball real good.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I do not run the ball. Obviously, you can see why. Not that I see why, but you can see what happened. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, you turned it off. Um, Go ahead, turn it on. Um, you know what? The only thing about this is, I don't know how you guys feel personally. Do you think when these record books that they're gonna be broken, obviously because of the extra game? Um, like how do you write these in? Like, so he's got 2,000 yards, but in 17 games. It's not the same, right? If he had this many yards in 16 games, he's got an extra game to get an extra 30 to 25 to 30 carries. Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm not a purist in the sense where I feel like too much change is a bad thing, but in my opinion, when a game is heavily based on records, even baseball, when you start messing around with the amount of games being played, I feel like those numbers get skewed. Especially when people like to compare players to errors and styles and what have you. Um, yeah, and so yeah. Anyway, I digress. Burley, Taylor, Saquon with a bounce back year, right? I feel like he didn't. How many yards Barkley had last season? Overview, stats and contract. Oh, he had 1,000. No, definitely a big, nice jump, extra 600 yards, almost doubled his touchdowns. Yeah, and average yards per game up by 30, almost 40. Yeah, I mean, running the ball is super effective if you can get it done consistently and if you're winning games. I know, I know we spoke about this openly in chat about suspending and what have you, but this year I was just terrible, and so I found myself down often, and
Burley
so
did that without SS abilities.
without, I don't, I mean. running the ball is I think Bates
Only one up there.
I you know what? I don't think running the ball requires this guy looks like Deion Sanders. Um doesn't require abilities. I feel like I wasn't I mean it helps. It helps, but I don't think it's widely needed to run the ball effectively somebody with abilities. Um but definitely helps. I'm gonna let me see what Saquon has. Reach for it and RB apprentice like this is I mean, yeah, it's a cool hair, yes. It's very nice hair.
Look at the broken tackles.
Let me look at broken tackles. Okay, let's see. Um, yeah, I mean Saquon had 58, Burley had 42, Mixon had 45. You know, I mean the only one really OD I think was probably Nick Chubb in terms of
How
broken
many
tackle
did Philip Tongue have?
yards or
This
broken
guy.
tackles.
Broken tackles. I forgot
69.
that one from.
Yeah.
He
What's
has a
what?
ton of tackles.
Your hair. Yeah, it's good. Um, the broken tackles thing for me, like I don't know if that's a really a good indication of abilities. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a maybe Yak. Yeah, I guess no, not even. This guy had a 100-yard run, Clifton. Wow, that's gotta be insane. Poole with 96. Freeman. Yeah. Let's go to the receivers. Keenan Allen. So who did the Chargers trade last year? Williams, I believe. He
I
traded. I
think he
think
traded Mike Williams and Khalil Mack.
I feel like he traded two receivers, but only traded the one. Okay. I mean, what he does with I see
Keenan
it.
Allen.
Yeah, what he does with Keenan Allen is amazing, bro. Like
It is.
only 88 speed. I mean, it's not like. But like, you know what? I feel like the combination of an X factor quarterback plus an X factor receiver just makes a world of difference in terms of just um catches. I feel like that increases the. I feel like having a really good quarterback makes a really good receiver look even better. Like so, like I've got JJ. He makes a ton of catches for me, but the throws that I miss is the difference between my quarterback and like a Herbert or Chambers or Brady or T Law. Um, I think those are the big differences. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've sailed a receiver that's wide open, and a better quarterback makes that throw. So it turns incompletion to completion, and then obviously um, you have these numbers. Olave with a big year. I didn't see any games that the Saints
It's a lot
played,
of
but
Sims.
was there a lot of Sims?
Yeah, because his stats look crazy.
I mean, hundreds, because I've done it. I thought I've done it, but the rest of the offense got ignored. Like, I've had 100 plus yards. I mean, 100 plus receptions in a season. Um, my boy Calhoun with 91. Oh man, big year for my guy, for my tight end. Didn't expect it from him really, but when you play guys and guys are triple teaming JJ, I'm looking at they got like boxing one on him, and it's like, ah man. Um, so he made a Pro Bowl. Evans receiver of the year. Creighton with out of nowhere, Creighton he's gonna definitely get his superstar this year, right? Player of the week, two Pro Bowls, broke receiving record for touchdowns, 120, three receptions. That's it. Wow, 100 yards on three catches. Jesus, Creighton is That speed, baby. It's that speed, man. Jesus, Lord of mercy. And his acceleration is not that high
Assess
either.
for Creighton this year, just to lose it at advance.
Listen, in all honesty, if that happens again, you really guys should really give it back to him. I think that's unfair. If it happens again, it's definitely unfair. Um, I think at some point you just gotta say like the game is wrong, and we shouldn't be penalizing people because the game made a mistake. Um, and for those that it happens to, if you don't say something, then in my opinion, it won't be addressed. So if it happened to you in the past and you said nothing and just kind of live with it, it makes it difficult for others to make that same argument. But my argument would be, if you didn't voice your opinion, then for me that was sort of just on you. Closed mouth don't get fed. Um, so we'll talk about. I touched on the Mike Evans jump ball stuff. Literally, if you press triangle, he'll jump for the ball. So I don't, like I said, I don't know if Cali is consistently using the L1 jump ball mechanism all the time. But literally, if you hold triangle, the receiver will jump. For all you guys, so I can't
Moss,
tell you.
please don't moss.
Moss. I mean, he's not even like really mossing guys. Because I feel like he's a deep threat, but not in that sense. I think his size more than anything is where he really just dominates DBs. I don't think the speed is a factor for me at all.
Let's ask Creighton to slow down his roots with that 98 speed.
Um, speed is king. Speed is king. I mean, you can't, speed and height are two things you just don't, obviously you can't teach. Either you got it or you don't. Um, yeah, either you have it or you don't. That's it. Uh, 5 Pro Bowls. Okay. And like I was saying earlier, we'll go back. I'll look at this double me trait that he talks about. Double me. It doesn't activate until he makes like 2 or 3 catches of 20 plus yards, and at that point, that's an issue. Um, but yeah, double me. Like I said, the X factors mean nothing unless they get activated. Olave should definitely, looks like he's gonna get SS. This is I mean, really good year, but as Sev said, a lot of Sims perhaps. I didn't really pay attention to the Saints this year, so I can't tell you. But it's a good looking receiver.
Maybe ask Chase Young to stop getting so many sacks.
I mean, in all honesty, Callie, if you want less sacks, I mean, you're the commish. You can make rules about whether people can use certain X factor, superstar ability combos. Like, you're saying it like you don't have.
JK.
Oh, okay, joking. Okay, okay. It's hard to tell, the text message. But in all seriousness,
I'm
um,
saying these are game breakers.
I guess yeah, they are game break. I think that's what I
They
think that's what
gonna eat.
I think that's what the issue is. They are game breaking, and I think that's the problem. You know, they're game breaking, literally game breaking. And so, if you know, if you want to block, three on your left to stop Donald or whatever, yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice some kind of coverage or whatever. Um, sacrifice coverage. You gotta, you get less receivers out there running routes, what have you. But yeah, they're definitely game breakers. There's ways to mitigate that, but I guess I know. I think we can
Exactly.
we can mitigate that or mitigate that. We can revisit that in future iterations of Madden. Um, but I am sort of excited to see how the game plays on default sliders, given with EA's newer updates. And you know what would be You know
Double
what?
Evans manually, but people trying to do it 1v1.
Yeah, doubling Evans, I still think would be tough. Um, because there's no real way to. Can you pour me some? There's no real way to mitigate some of the animations. I know, I know, guys are saying use square to knock the ball out. May you put stuff on that list already? Okay. All right. Let me know. I want to order before midnight so I can put this order in. Um, what I was saying, I was saying something about coverage, Evans, whatever. But I mean, oh, the sliders. That's where I was sliders to see where the gameplay is at. Oh, that's where I was going back. All right, got it even better now. I kind of
If a S is there, the animation is different. Watch Mugga versus me.
okay. I'll definitely keep an eye out. But what I was saying is I'd be interested to see if someone could put together a list of the changes that were made during the updates for Madden throughout the season. And let's just say, let's just say, we'll make a line of zero straight down the middle, and let's say they changed the way DBs cover. I do like a +1 in defense, and then let's say 2 months later they decided that it was OP, and then you'd put like a -3 or -1 and bring you back to zero. And I would just like to see how much change went in either direction. But you have your paintbrushes already, Mav. You're gonna paint tomorrow, okay? Come on, put the brushes away. Here, come. All right, take it to mommy. Take it with you to mommy then. Um, because in the past, and I said this in the chat, in the past, m- EA wasn't really messing with CFMs in terms of adjusting the gameplay. What we kind of got out the box is what we got. Um, and so now, like for me, I was like, it was almost unheard of that they would go in and you know update the CFM. I just didn't think it could happen, but obviously there's a way for them to do it, and so they did it. Um, but yeah, I mean, for the guys who are like, the game was good out the box, I can't really tell you. I thought it was all right, but I thought the DBs definitely were OP to start out with. But I'm of the opinion. I try to be of the opinion that we should probably learn to adjust our games to the game instead of doing it the other way around. Obviously, because you can't satisfy everyone's needs by adjusting the sliders. You just can't. Like, um, you know, if you're a guy who doesn't like to throw a lot, but when you have to throw, you feeling like you don't have a window because the DBs are so good. You're gonna be like, oh man, this man coverage is way too good. Um, and so what do? We adjust the sliders for six guys who don't enjoy the way the DBs cover, or vice versa. And so I feel like having the sliders on default will probably mitigate a lot of back and forth with how the game plays because it's defaulted for everyone. And I know someone made the argument that the sliders are the same for everyone, but if they lean heavily towards one way or another, then it favors people who tend to play in a certain way that benefits them, if that makes any sense. On default, it's like zero for everyone or 100, whatever the number you want it to be, and there's no favoritism, so to speak, towards the way the game is being played. In my opinion, I think that's so. Yeah, so I just want to see what that does for us, and maybe going forward we just don't touch them. And I like I said, I think I was gonna take the task of messing with the sliders early on, and I tried it for like an hour, to be honest with you. And I moved the sliders around. I found a slider set that looked good, that was highly recommended by like OS or whatever. And for me, the game played terribly. It was, but also
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna get
yeah,
off. I'll text you why, right?
yeah, no, 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 no worries, no worries, no
Alright.
worries. Um, um, but the gameplay was bad for me personally, and that's just a small sample size. And so I joke that the best way to find out how the game plays is what EA does to us every year. Just put the game out and says, "All right, I've got 7 million users. 3 million are going to give me input. Maybe 10% of them play online and we'll get to see." And I feel like that's how they just do it. They've got no clue. They've got no clue on how the sliders affect gameplay. Um, and I think they said that in the past. And remember, there was many, many moons ago and in Madden where if you adjusted, let's say, the PI, it affected the DB's awareness. I know it sounds crazy, but guys were saying it. There was like if you move the sliders for pass interference, the DBs were either better or worse. And now you necessarily don't know that, and if the developers don't know that, then how would you know that? But obviously there are guys who play a ton and ton of Madden, and so I know they're able to notice, the subtleties when things get adjusted. But going back to me and the sliders, I played versus the CPU, and we all know the CPU is much different than a person, and there are sliders specifically for user versus user. If you take user versus user sliders let the CPU have them, the CPU in the experience that I had was just like destroying me. I just couldn't get anything going, and so I knew that that slider set wasn't going to work, but also I couldn't really test them out because, like I said, I'm playing a CPU instead of a user. So anyway, I digress. What else can we touch upon? Touch upon? Touch upon? Touch upon? Um, oh, we'll look at the sacks. I think it'll bring us another conversation about SS and whatever. Um, 34 sacks. What was I think Crosby held the record prior with 34 sacks. 34 sacks. Um, see, the thing about this, I'm not annoyed, um, because at this point I just know. Let's see, the Pro Bowl doesn't get the sack record, shares it. I'm sure if he knew that, um, he maybe would have tried a little harder. But I'm also of the opinion if you feel like that's the only way to get sacks and you've got a superstar, by all means do that. I mean, I've got Donald and I've got double or nothing in edge threat, and I play him at outside linebacker. I feel like that's the best place for me to use him, and so I use him there. I mean, it's a video game, but you don't need to be a purist in that sense. I think Callie joked about who does he have that's a pass? I forget who it was. Moving his guy, or maybe might have been the Red. I mean, Washington, not
That's
Washington.
kinda whack.
It is kind of whack, but it is what it is. I play a 3-4, 280 at the defensive end for me is kind of light, and so I don't enjoy it. I mean, it's a video game, but I feel like an end in a 3-4 should be 300 pounds. 280 is too light, and so I play him at outside linebacker. Um, But if you know how edge threat works, in order for edge threat to be activated, he has to be the outermost rushing person. And so if I've got um, a D end in a 3-4, the edge threat won't work because my outside linebacker is now my furthest
I
um
wonder what happens when these ops factor des or OLB go against ins factor Oleneman. That's the only apples to apples comparison.
um so the X Factor O lineman or superstar O lineman, they do negate some of it, but the issue is
Like
the
ins factor CB versus Evans. That's what Mugga has.
I think huh I think with the O linemen when they do negate each other, but I think the O linemen have more success versus an X Factor pass rusher. I'm specifically talking about an X Factor O lineman versus an X Factor pass rusher. I think I've seen it.
I mean, Donald destroyed me, but I had a 77 auger T going against him with no help.
You know what? It's really sometimes it's really different sometimes. I've played a few games this season where I looked at Donald and I'm like I looked up I said, "Ah man, this guy's 77 overall or 70 overall with no abilities. I should have a field day." It doesn't happen. Um but I think Young and Crosby, their biggest attribute in terms of the X factor is definitely the speed and acceleration. Donald doesn't have it. And so, 90 acceleration, yeah, that's great, but the 82 speed, I'm not getting around a corner. And I'm sure next season it's going to be like a 70 speed, um, obviously because the old age or whatever's going to kick in. Um, and so I think the acceleration on top of having the X factor really makes a big difference. Um, but in terms of like for me personally, when I've seen X factor receivers versus X factor DBs, the biggest factor in X Factor DBs, I believe, is and Sev will say that that acrobat is probably like one of the most OP animations ever, and the reason it ticks me off more than the um the edge threat is because I don't think any of us have seen a single receiver layout for a pass in this Madden at all. So we all got to jump balls, but no one dives. You cannot dive for a pass that's like right outside your fingertips. There's no diving. Um, and if someone knows how to activate the animation, by all means, please tell me because I'd love to see it. And so that's like I feel like those were my issues sometimes with the game. Like the defense, there's a lot of things that are really OP, but the offense doesn't have a counter to it. Um, and guys will say, do this and do that, but like these animations are coded into the game. And so like with the X Factor ends, that insta rush, it's like it's the insta pass rush. Like I mean, and everyone's seen it. Like the minute the old lineman puts his hand out to make contact, that guy's he's ripping it away and he's gone. And if you got a guy like Crosby or Young, or even if, let's say, if I don't know if Miles Garrett still has Superstar, yeah. If like,
Closest thing to WR diving is the deep ball lean forward by speedy
yeah,
WRs.
that's not even the same though. I'm talking about guys leaving their feet to make that pass. Like it doesn't happen. I think it should. Like so, if like right here he's got edge threat, he definitely should have double or nothing, and Miles Garrett might be the best, defensive end in terms of sack in the game. But it's really tough to level the playing field with the X Factors, superstar X Factors. There's no way around it. We'll talk picks. 17-14. Diggs, Moring. I mean, we threw a lot of. I think collectively we threw more picks this season than last season. What am I looking for? I'm looking for offense. Let me just see. I know I threw a ton this year. Just could not stop throwing picks. 53, 48, 47, 45. What is that? 12, 10 teams throwing 40 picks. It was just like, and I will say this, like I for me personally felt the game felt different for me after the week 5 patch. Well, week 5 in game when I think we went when the game went down for a few weeks. I felt like after that I just could not do anything. Excuse me. And so yeah, I don't know what EA did, and maybe they did nothing, but the game felt different to me in terms of passing the ball. But like I said, I think we definitely collectively threw a lot more a lot more picks. Um, 1 second, guys. I'm over here doing some grocery shopping. Um, I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure. Oh, we'll delete. Oh, that's not Zinger. What else can I touch upon? How's everybody doing tonight? Um, let's see. I know for let's look at these. No, ask mommy, cause you keep taking it apart. Daddy's busy right now. Oh my lord. Wait, come back, come back. Come on, I'll help you. Boy, oh boy. 1 second, guys. Yeah. I don't. Why do you keep taking it apart? Here. Yeah. You see it? All right. You know how to put it together now, okay? Um, I forget where I was going. Somebody remind me. Lost my train of thought. Oh, this. We'll talk money, salaries, players leaving. Um, excuse me. I've got nothing to hide, so I'll tell you this. Um, so last season the Cowboys didn't resign Diggs. Me being the man that I am, took it back to my anyway. Um, I was like, yo, man, I know you ain't got no cap. Send me a player. Da da
BRB
da.
gonna read James Havoc a bedtime story and give him his bottle.
He's so stupid, man. Leave this man alone. Um, so I hit up the Cowboys. I'm like, yo, listen, man. I see you. You got like 3 or 4 wins. I know you're not gonna re-sign Dak. You probably fishing to get a good quarterback. Send me some players. He's like, nah, I'm gonna try to win out some games. And then I think the light bulb went off in his head after I spoke to him, and he was like, that's not a bad move. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I know for facts that Dak Prescott will be a free agent. 100% the Cowboys are drafting a quarterback. Probably with the top pick. I think that's what he has. He only has 1 win. Um, and he'll be back. He'll be back. It looks like, I mean, he can probably tag, he'll probably tag Zach Martin. Oh, that's very nice, Mavi. And he'll probably tag Martin, and then that'll be it. Lawrence, Lawrence might be walking. Um, Lawrence might be walking. Mm, guy might have my eye on this off season, you know. But he probably lose some speed. This would be a night. I mean, he's an end night right now, but he'll probably stay at the end. Um, who else? That's a couple of big fish. Um, Mike Hilton. Yeah. Who else? Diggs. Okay, who else has a little bit of
Speaking of
money?
boys, from 1 seed to top 3 pick in one season.
Yeah, I think that's by design, Callie. I think, like I said to you, I spoke to him about trading players, and he said he's trying to win a few games and sneak into the playoffs. But I said to him, it looks like you're trying, to, to restart your whole joint. And I think he wasn't thinking about that. And then once I mentioned it, he was like, "Oh, that's probably a really good idea. Let me go ahead and do that." Um, but you know what? You know what I've noticed too? This cap space thing is really, it's real. Oh, this guy might be a free agent. Javon Holland. Might have my eye on this guy too. Um, because I mean, look at myself. If you look at the captures I have, looks like I've got nothing. But I've got a few big fish that are coming off, and I'm gonna have like something like 60 million cap space. Um, and so it's a bit misleading. Probably not as good as an indicator as we all thought it was in terms of who's not gonna have any money for free agents. Um, Maybe the better way is to see the 2024 cap, I guess, subtracted from the 2024 salaries, and maybe that'll tell you how much space a person really has to sign. Um, let's see. Am I on to something? I feel like everybody's got no money. Yeah, I mean, so look at the Chargers. He's got 15 million cap space. His salary is more or less 15 million less, 511.1, right? 5 plus 6 is 11, carry the 1, 36. Look, it looks like he has like 30 mil almost, but is there a big fish coming off? Let me see. We'll go by, nah, not really. Yeah, here's Robinson 4 million, perhaps. Perhaps this is something like this. So he'll have money. Um, Even for the Colts, um, it's hard to say. Like I said, it's really hard to say. Let's see if there's anybody. Maybe he doesn't have money. Look. If he doesn't re-sign Renfro, that's 10 million right there. There's another 15 right here for Van Jefferson. Um, both decent receivers, but like I said, he's gonna have cap room. If he wants to re-sign uh Buckner. Mm, I see. We just making a ramp. Okay, show me. Yeah, go ahead and make it show me. 1 second, guys. Let me just put my order in for my groceries. Gonna check out. Continue. Best available, sure. Continue. Um, Tomorrow, perfect. Noon. Um, then we'll use this car right here. Sorry, guys. Just gotta make sure I get my groceries by noon tomorrow. Place order. I mean, I don't know if you guys do it, but I think order confirm. I may help you make a ramp. Yeah. All right. So yeah, like I said, like the cap space situation is really just there's almost no way to tell until these guys enter free agency. Um, but I mean, look at the cap that they don't have, right? His cap is 265, his salary 267. He doesn't probably have any real money. I don't know, man. You know what? I want to see. Let me look at the Rams. The Rams are a good indicator because he had some cap issues last season. Um, and I know he's getting out the woods a little bit. Still got that cap penalty. The cap penalty. We got to talk about that too, Callie. Let's change that. Like 20 million is way too stringent. 25, 30. I mean, these guys are getting paid these days. I mean, he definitely had to put some sort of. I don't know. Is he out the woods yet? Let me see. Well, this guy's hitting free agency for sure. He's got to probably try to keep some of his old linemen. Already, right, babes? Nah, not really. Oh, it's fine. Um. Oh, the Ravens minus 54. I wonder how. So Godwin will be out there for free unless he can tag him. Let's see who's coming off. Once is only 1.5. Let's see. Damn, he's gotta tag him. He's gotta tag Godwin. There's no way. Oh, let's see. He definitely has to tag Godwin. Damn. Let's see. I mean, he's still got a lot of guys on his roster that. Yeah, this might be the one team that doesn't have any real money. I think. Nah, Farrell comes off. That'll give him still 1 million in cap space. He's got Pierce coming off. Um, Gene Sims, Troy Dye. Let's see. Peters is probably coming off. Mm, that's really about it. I mean, I don't know who this guy is. Brandon Stevens. Is he any good? Yeah, tough to say. Yeah, I don't think. I think Godwin is definitely in free agency, guys. Like, there's no way. I don't see how he's gonna be able to keep him. Even if he tags him. Even if he tags, I don't think he can tag him. Doesn't have the money to tag him. Jesus Louise. We'll see. Um, he's got money. Let's see. The Seahawks. Levante David. He's gonna have money. No one like. Nah. No, I don't see anybody. Steelers. Plenty cash. Texans. Plenty cash. Titans. Okay. Yeah, that's very nice. Keep going. Yeah, Kevin Byard might be coming off. It's like the only can he tag him? I don't know if he can tag him. 90 overall. There might be some big fish. Don't worry, guys. I'm tagging JJ. Don't worry about it. I'm tagging him, baby. That's pretty much it, guys. Anybody want to add anything? Anything they want to talk about, discuss? I'll probably be on for like 5 or 10 minutes, depending what
Cap
uh.
numbers get funky in playoffs. No real numbers until resigns.
Yeah, the cap numbers are just. You know what? My biggest issue with not my biggest issue. One of my issues with EA. I feel like there are ways to simplify all this. Like if there's a way, but this is all like legacy stuff. I mean, how long have we been seeing this same menu? It's gotta be over 10 years now. Like EA literally has not changed this team salary or anything in God knows how long. I'm saying maybe back to like a PS3 where this menu was like this. Um, but that's just unbelievable. Um, I mean, you got to think about it. People have invented websites dedicated to CFMs because of the lack of, I don't know, abilities to do anything in the game like this. Uh, and if you're EA Sports, man, like, would you not create your own CFM website just so you can charge? I would be charging people like $5 a month for a league to use my services. It'd be way more robust than anything that we're currently using right now. But if they can't even develop the game, there's no way they're gonna add a. Look, Amari Cooper might be coming off as well. Huh? Look at that. Cooper might be a free agency. This is one of the teams that have cap issues. When you get them like year one are the Browns because there's no real you don't really know what to do with them. Um, but he might be losing Amari Cooper. Might be losing Amari Cooper. He may tag him, but I don't like I said I don't know if he has money to tag. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. You guys have been beautiful. It's always a pleasure. My my co-hosts, one's on a date, the other one's probably sleeping. Um, but we'll see. Good luck to you guys. I guess you're on Snipes. I don't know. Are these guys all? Is the entire playoffs on Snipes, Callie? Hmm, I don't
Eat
know.
shit pro.
Hey, thank you, Ford. Ford, I'm gonna let you play my games next season. Is that all
Good
right?
stuff, man. 2WC on Snips
Okay,
TV.
got you. Ford, anytime you want to log in and play as the Vikings, let me know. I'll send you my password and all that. And no problem, bro. You log in for me. You know what I'm saying? I
One game
appreciate
per
that.
round.
One game per round. I'll let you play one game per week. How about that, Ford? What is this? It's done? I don't know. Go ahead, try it. All right, you guys have a good night. For those of you guys on the West Coast, I know you can go outside and still do something. What is it? It's eight
I need to
o'clock.
switch teams.
Switch teams. Oh, please, bro, just stay over there. Stay over there until Madden 24 comes out.
Raiders Opus.
Raiders, no, Raiders aren't OP. You're OP. How about that? How you know what you should do for it? You should challenge yourself to play with teams that have like an overall under 70.
The
That's
sun
it.
is still out in LA.
Son is still out. Send a picture in the chat, but that's unbelievable, man. Ah, they need to move the time zones. Before I let you guys go, there is a not a motion, but people are considering making one time zone for the entire country. Um, I don't know exactly how that works. My brain's not that developed to to discuss the ins and outs, but essentially right now it's quarter to midnight in New York. It'd be a quarter to midnight in LA. Um, but I think things are kind of good the way they are. But I would love.
The
You know what's
Raiders
so
were trash AF at launch.
They weren't really try. I think you had a lot of good pieces, but you're absolutely right. They weren't great. They weren't great. Um, uh, but I think I was gonna say about time zones, but
They
yeah, yeah,
still thrash.
they still trash. Oh, you guys are terrible. Time zones. Technically, they could do that. You can just move the time zones, and I could have daylight, you know, whenever. But anyway, too deep of a conversation. My,
Midnight with the sun out, imagine that.
listen, Ford. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I've been to Sweden, Stockholm. I went to the club in Stockholm. It was maybe about, I don't know, 10:30, 11, and the sun is still out in Sweden. Like, and it was so funny because we went out with the sun being out, and then when I got out the club, the sun was out. It was like 3 or 4 a.m. And so because you're so far north, obviously the days are longer because just I was in the summertime. And so yeah, I was wild. It was like when I say like sun out, I mean like 8 a.m. sun out type stuff coming out the club, going in and coming out. Anyway, go see Stockholm. It's a beautiful place. Um, very nice in the summertime. And
Don't tell me you went to the club without telling me how much coke you did too.
oh, I don't do that, bro. I don't know if you if you noticed, but I'm pretty high strung without that stuff. Don't need it. I'm good. Um, this guy. I know I've got the nose for it, but believe you me, I've never rode the white horse. But anyway, I'm out of here. We're getting off into crazy, crazy topics. You guys, best of luck in the playoffs. And for those of you who didn't make the playoffs, please watch. Um, I would love to see one game with like 30 viewers. You guys all have cell phones. The links come up. Just click it, watch it. I mean, the guy who runs the commish, Cali, they pay for this stuff. And if you've donated so that we can have snipes, you've paid for it. So watch, participate by
People
just
watch the
watching.
archive.
Okay, people watch the archive, but I want to see live viewers, Cali. I want people to be. I want to see the live views. I want the chat to go off. Um, because we got a
But
good
I
lead.
agree watching live is nice.
Yeah, I think we have a good league. These are all. I know it gets kind of helter skelter in there sometimes. We're all adults. We're allowed to get upset with each other. Blah blah blah. But the maturity level in this league is awesome. That's because a lot of us are just cool-headed people.
And hit the damn like button too.
Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the like button. Yeah, absolutely, man. But could you imagine had you know what? I thought was around, and I think we were kind of like one of the pioneers to kind of doing this Madden stuff, a show or whatnot. But I had no idea it could be the way that Snipes has it. It just wasn't in my I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about it that way at all. But a very nice addition to have. Um, and going forward, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I would love, and I know it's not the best idea, but those guys, who don't win that many games, I think we should give them a shot on Snipes. I know it's not the like, we don't really want to see that kind of stuff on there. Um, but maybe it'll give us some incentive to, I don't know. At this age in the game, do you really want to work on getting better? It depends. I don't know, regardless. But yeah, I would love to see a couple of like, you know, 4 or 5 win teams on there just battle out whatever. But I'm sure those guys don't want to really be on it if they're not playing well. I for one don't give a F. I'm playing well. I'm playing bad. I'll participate. It's just a game. It's just a game. That's all you need to remember. Is just a game. It's purely
They have been
recreational.
on Poe, ex Manny and his Broncos.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Manning's Broncos. Yes. Um, but keep in mind, guys, it's just an effing game. It is not real. These players, you do not control them. You do not pay them. The money in the game is fake. The cap, the cap whatever. It's just a game. Enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. um, without um, without hurting others, if that's even possible. But you know what I mean. Anyway, good night. You guys are the greatest, and tomorrow's a new day. Final thing. Who do you guys have? I know there's a couple of you guys watching. Who do you think wins tomorrow? I've got the Chiefs personally. Um, I've seen some
Thanks,
pundits.
Crow.
You're welcome. I've seen some pundits have the Eagles. Some are saying the Eagles pass rush is really, really disgusting, and they've got the corners to cover.
Chiefs.
Chiefs, but I think, in all honesty, I think the
No,
quarterback.
it's real. I'll die for this shit.
Nah, he's so stupid. Ford's an idiot. But I think Mahomes. I think I think for the Eagles to win, the defense has to play the way they've been playing. I think they're capable of it. The question is, can the quarterback for the Eagles match the quarterback play for the Chiefs? I don't think it's possible, but anything is possible, and we'll see tomorrow. All right, I'm done for real. I'm signing off. This is me ending the broadcast. Peace out, guys.